What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today, I am really excited to bring you my full review of the updated Protech Malibu. This one here has the 3.3 inch reverse Tonto 20 CV blade steel, super steel on there, really awesome offering. It has a 4.25 inch textured aluminum handle for an overall length of 7.5 inches and a claimed weight of 3 ounces. So let's go ahead and give this a quick weigh to verify the weight of this particular knife. So 3.1 ounces, they're claiming 3. Could be the difference between the blade shapes. Could be that there's a little bit more steel on this particular model. Anything can attribute to that difference. What I'm going to go ahead and do just really quickly is run through some of the comparison knives that I use on this channel. Then we'll talk about comparable, and I'll give you my overall thoughts and impressions. First up is going to be my Spyderco Yojimbo 2. This one here is the DLT Trading exclusive. This one is also rocking 20 CV because of that exclusive. It also is very comparable to the Para 3, which these two are more in line with as far as the overall length for that knife. And I am going to drop this camera down just a tiny bit. There we go. There we go. I think that angle helps a little bit. Next up, I'm going to bring out the Spyderco Shaman. This one here is a much larger comparison, but as you can see here, the Malibu overall is just a tiny bit smaller, making it an actual friendly EDC sized carry knife. Let's go ahead and get these guys out of here. I'm bringing out the crossbar locks really quick so you can get a reference if you have one of these guys. First up is going to be the Benchmade Bug Out, which is very close in size and very comparable to the Protech Malibu, and the SIG K320 made by Hogue. This one here is going to be a little bit bigger, closer in handle size, but it has a longer blade on it. Really good comparison and good reference for you is that Bug Out though. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and bring out a couple of cheap knives to compare for those that are more budget oriented. First is going to be the Kubi KU321, also known as the Kubi Royal, and the Civivi Conspirator button lock, which is going to stay out here as a comparison knife. As you can see, the Malibu is a little bit closer to the Royal's size, offering a little bit more blade length and a very friendly EDC size. So let's go ahead and get the Royal out of here and talk about these two knives. So as you can see here, both are button lock, the Conspirator being a much bigger version of that button lock, but I think both of these are probably knives that people would be considering looking for in this particular size range. Now, button lock on the Conspirator is a little underwhelming, I would say, in comparison to what you're getting here on the Protech Malibu. On the Conspirator, you're getting Nitro V, whereas on the Malibu, you're getting 20 CV, which is a super steel. You're getting a much more impressive and snappy and consistent button lock experience. Also, the texturing has taken the Malibu, in my opinion, to a whole other level. Some people aren't going to like the texturing, so I think that they should continue to offer the peel coat on the anodized aluminum, but I think more than not, you're going to find people that are really going to prefer the diamond texturing. So if I were Protech, I would be producing this particular version at a higher clip than I would be the non-coated. The micarta on here and the I think they only offer it in the micarta and the wood. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if there is a G10 variant out there that they do. But the micarta is a nice material, but it really does not offer the same type of grips. This has a very neutral ergonomic, which is fine. It's comfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's comfortable. There's nothing really to it. The actual finger cutout and the curvature and the lines and how it thickens and thins on the Protech Malibu actually make this feel really locked in, even though it's almost a little short for me. I just have enough for a full finger grip. Both of these do a really good job getting you up on top of the blade's edge for performance. You are a little bit further back due to the overall size on the Conspirator, but on the Protech Malibu, you're closer. But again, that's because it is smaller. Both of these have a flat grind. They both have a very similar thickness when it comes to the blade steel. It's just what you're seeing here is that Civivi rounds the edge here to make it look a little bit thinner. But when you actually compare these two knives, you can see they're actually very, very close in thickness. Don't be fooled by the fact that this is a more shallow blade and the flat grind doesn't go all the way to the tip and they don't round it off at the top. Performance, again, the feel and the performance I'm talking about a little bit differently. I feel like the performance on this is a little bit better on the Malibu. I feel like it's better tuned. It has a better detent. It's just the spring pressure and lock, and then the tolerance between the blade and the block itself when they're riding against one another when they go to open and close. You hear the spring? Whoa. The other thing that I noticed with this one as well, and I'm not messing with it, it looks like they put a touch of lithium grease on that standoff, and that is where in the closed position the flipper tab rests against. So I don't know if that's helping to do with anything with lock stick. I really didn't pay attention to it on the Blue Boo that I sold to fund the purchase of this one, but I did notice that, and I'm not going to mess with it. And then when I do go to clean it, I am going to put a dab of lithium grease back on. Well, I covered it. A dab of grease back on that standoff, because I think they did that intentionally, and they certainly are the manufacturer and would know better than I would. I really like this knife. It is just so good. It's so good. It feels really lightweight in hand, feels really lightweight in pocket. It has really been thought out. It has the landing pad there. I suspect you'll start to see Civivi and other manufacturers do this on their micarta. They'll start to do this on their wood and carbon fiber and things of that nature when the pocket clip is not reversible. And you know what? Even if it was reversible, is it really that obnoxious to have like a landing pad on both sides for a reversible pocket clip? It really doesn't bother me. It's just a small spot. This almost looks like a shield. You could make it some type of design or pattern. It doesn't have to just be that perfect little square. You can make it, I don't know, make it a P and it makes enough contact. I don't know. That might be a little gaudy. Maybe it's best just to leave it a little olive or rectangular or something like that, or make it a little shield. Who knows? I like that. I love how they have, this is another little touch that I like, they have made that backspacer integrated into the two halves. So it is not an integral, but it is a integrated backspacer. So I really do like that a lot. It's also going to make sure, and this is a really bold thing here where they did this lanyard hold and that lock, because when you go to look at centering, when you look at that, you better be making sure that these are coming off the assembly line centered, which it is. It really is. But I always think that's such a bold thing to do to really show just how good your manufacturing is. And this is really well done. Integrated lanyard hole into the integrated backspacers. My version is just a little off. It almost looks like, not off where they match up, sorry, just a little off where you can see a little bit of spacing. I noticed on the Blue, I think it was a little bit tougher to tell, but still really awesome. I love that. Keeps you from having any chance of that blade touching you any which way, shape, or form. And just a really, and I think a lot of people are going to miss this, but to do this way, to build it like that so that it feels a little bit more premium, feels better in hand, that takes a little bit more material, a little bit extra time in the manufacturing process, and I appreciate that a lot. Can I recommend this knife? Absolutely. This by far and away is the best button lock I have experienced. Better than the original, better than the Altus, better than the Conspirator, better than the Cogent. This thing just is significantly better than any of those. The experience I'm having with it, the way it feels in hand, how it carries in pocket, getting 20 CV steel, all of that justifies the price. I know people are barking at that price, but I am telling you, for a made in the USA, premiumly built, high quality built button lock knife that really feels different in hand than the other knives that I'm feeling. The other knives, by comparison, feel cheap. Am I saying that they're cheap knives? Well, they are. I mean, that's their whole spiel, right? Is to bring you that experience at a very affordable price with lesser materials. I mean, that's the whole spin of those knives. Does it mean that they're bad? No, it doesn't mean that they're bad. They've clearly seen a manufacturing process on how to make knives, and they implemented that well into their process. But I am telling you, there is a difference from a Malibu to a Cogent, from a Malibu to a Conspirator. This feels different. It feels better made. It has better materials. It could have better bearings for all I know. The aluminum being textured just takes this to a whole other level. The amount of time it takes to manufacture the aluminum with this in here takes longer. That's why you see a price difference. People are going to be like, oh, it's way too much. Oh, no. Back up. To manufacture this, it takes more time and effort to do that. It slows the production down to have a machine go through and do this. It's not like it's stamped out. This is milled out after the aluminum is cut. That's why you're seeing a price hike on that. And I gladly and am happy that I had paid for this experience because it feels special. I highly recommend this knife. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, leave a like. Feel free to comment down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What other things would you have liked to see me talk about that I did not cover in today's video? I appreciate all the support out there. Without you all, I wouldn't have been able to grow this channel. I am gearing up for another giveaway in April, so make sure you watch out for that video. To do that, you need to have that notification bell set to all. You're going to miss it if you don't. Thank you again for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it. You are awesome. I hope you have a fantastic week. Stay sharp. Until next time. Peace.